What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Collection Wars. How you doing, Michael?
Gabe, I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
Good, bro.
I'm excited, man. We got a great show tonight.
We do. We got like kind of a double dooey kind of. We've got a recording to do that we're going to show, which is really cool. I'm excited about. And thanks for all your hard work doing that, putting that together. And then we're going to be live with a couple of our boys.
Yeah. So as you guys could tell, obviously tonight is going to be kind of geared towards Blade Runner, but we have a special guest. Obviously, you guys saw on the the description of tonight's show, right, Michael? Got William Sanderson.
Yep, yeah, and I want to say a great big thanks to him and his wife for helping put this together, and then for, of course, Bill taking the time to come on the show and talk to us. I tried to get him to do a show. He's just been really covered up, and so we had to do a phone interview, but it worked out. And again, thanks for putting that together for us.
Yeah, no, not a problem, Mike. And Michael, just I guess maybe before we play the interview really quick, do you want to let our viewers kind of know how you got in contact with Bill and got to do the interview and everything?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So first off, William Sanderson is, he's a character actor. He's been in over 130 films and TV shows, and he's literally 5 decades of motion picture and television. And he's been fortunate enough to be in, so many movies out there. I guarantee if you haven't heard of the name, you'll recognize him in the interview. Very down to earth guy, and taking the time. And I want a big thanks to Scott, friend of mine that helped put this the interview together, where I was able to get in touch with Bill's wife, and then we finally got it scheduled. But yeah, it's a good deal. This guy, man, it's the history of what he's done in his acting career is absolutely amazing. And of course, he's got a brand new autobiography book out that we're going to mention, and I'm looking forward to it. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited, and you guys just keep your ears open because there's a lot of good stuff on there. And Michael, should we play the interview?
Yeah, we could go ahead and play the interview, and just know that we will be coming back live after the interview is about 30 minutes long. Yeah. And right after the interview, we're going to do some Q&A amongst the guys and whatnot, and talk about that amongst a few other things that we've got rolling in Collection.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, let's show it.
Bill Sanderson.
Bill, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
Man, I'm doing really good. Do you like Bill or William?
Oh, we use William when I'm in the credits, but Bill is okay.
All right, sounds good, Bill. Bill, look, first off, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be on Collection Wars. I'm real excited. I've been waiting to talk to you, and I got so many questions that I wanted to ask you, and do really appreciate you being on the show, pal.
Oh, well, I appreciate you inviting me, and you can edit it if I say something too lame, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, don't worry about that. So we're used to doing our shows. Obviously, we do the video deal on YouTube, which is what this is going to be on. But so we're going to edit this, but yeah, we feel free to say what you want to say, and this show's all about having fun on Collection Wars. We're real excited to kick this show off, and but golly, so much to say, Bill. So, you're a well-respected, actor, and your career spans, nearly 5 decades. It's crazy the amount of TV productions and motion pictures that you have appeared in. I was sitting down last night having some dinner, and Fletch was on, and you were in Fletch. I didn't know you were in Fletch. What movie have you not been in?
Quite a few, but thank you. I was pretty lucky, and I did a lot of bottom feeders, though, to stay alive. Bob Dylan said he had to take a lot of gigs he didn't want to take, but had to pay the bills. But thank you for just inviting me.
Of course, Bill. Yeah, I'm looking. I was looking at the IMDb and over 130 TV and motion picture credits. That's crazy. That's a lot. I mean, I'm 51 years old, Bill, and looking back, it's funny because my sidekick Gabe. Recently, we have nicknames now, and it's Starsky and Hutch. And he didn't say much when I said Starsky and Hutch, and a few shows later, he's like, "I've never seen Starsky and Hutch." I go, "You kidding me? You haven't seen Starsky and Hutch?" By the way, I'm Starsky and Gabe's Hutch. I think he's kind of the lame one.
That was the first TV job on the West Coast. I had moved out from New York, but if I ask you to repeat something, don't be upset. It sounds a little hollow coming from your end, but
okay.
First of all, thank you for doing it on the phone. I'm kind of tech challenged, and when we do Zoom and anything else, I just it's easier for me on the phone normally.
Yeah, I understand. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. I'll make sure that I talk in the mic, because it's kind of funny because I'm the opposite. I'm used to doing the Zoom and whatnot, and this is actually my first recorded over the phone. So, I was making sure right before you called, that we're set up correctly. And my buddy Scott Romine, thanks to him, is the whole reason I was able to get in touch with you. And but yeah, let's move on a little bit. And I know towards the end I would like to talk to you about the book that you've come out with. I was looking over the book a little bit, and it's very interesting. I'd like to ask you a couple things. First off, your first film actually that was credited was back in 1976. Is that correct?
Yeah, paid jobs in low budget independent films, PBS. But I did a lot of theater and was in acting classes. But of course, before then, I was in the Army and graduated from college and law school without taking the bar exam. But I started to make a living when you said back in the 70s.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I know you're only like 42 years old and you're still rocking, correct? I mean, you are.
Yeah,
I'm
old, but I'm happy with the way things have gone. And when I get a chance to talk about the book, I'm delighted because it's hard.
Good.
How do you not sound vain?
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
There was the pandemic caused lots of problems for a lot of people, but you can't promote. And so P.T. Barnum said, without promotion, something bad happens. Nothing. So thanks for letting me promote it.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to go into that towards the end of our show here. A couple things, because you mentioned it yourself when you were in New York. When you started out, you were doing a little bit of stage acting. If you had to choose, what did you, or do you, because your career is still moving forward, what do you enjoy the most? Do you like the stage acting? Do you like the television production side or motion picture?
Well, I love the movies and I love TV.
Yeah.
The stage gets tiresome, but I think that's where you learn to act. You like stand-up comedians. You got to go around and you got to practice. You got to get a technique. You got to have good teachers, and for me, it paid off. But I don't have movies and TV are a little bit more rewarding. TV, you immediately you see it, and the movies you have to wait a while, and also once you complete a movie, you got to wait a long time. So I enjoyed having a regular job on some successful series.
So
you can take somebody out to eat. You know where the next check's coming from.
I understand. Yeah, I just, the questions, because I've always wanted to be in the film industry. I've been blessed to direct a couple feature films, and never on your level by any means. But when it comes to you know, there's hundreds of thousands of people out there, and I know you're so humble about your acting career, and it's crazy the amount of people that, you know, pack up and they move to New York or they move to Los Angeles to get into the industry, and it's the odds are slim to none. I mean, it's a very low percentage of people that actually can make it in Hollywood, and it's so hard, and especially now.
Yeah, it's very competitive, but if you love it, you just keep plugging, and it's perseverance and a little luck. But you know, you're in Texas, right?
I am. Yep, I'm right outside of San Antonio.
You know who Tommy Lee Jones? Your path ever crossed with him?
Yep, several times actually. Yep, I was going to talk to you about him. You guys must be pretty good friends.
You said something about me being humble. One of his snarky comments was that I have a lot to be humble about. That I survived 6 jobs with Tommy Lee, and the 7th I wanted to do Batman with Jim Carrey and Val Kilmer, but a famous director wouldn't let me out of rehearsal. But Tommy, I've learned a lot from Tommy. But we probably have a love-hate relationship.
That's awesome story. So speaking of directors, there's numerous directors, and you know, all the different personalities, and I know there's, like we talked about earlier, there's 130 credits to your name that's on IMDb, and when you look at all the directors and the actors, and I can't wait to discuss briefly about Blade Runner, but when it comes to directors, Ridley Scott, that name comes to mind. I mean, he's a very renowned, you know, director that's done some really crazy movies.
Yeah, director of Blade Runner he's sort of a visionary and an artist, and he's doing a big movie about the Gucci family, I believe now. He's in his 80s, and I'm sure it'll be great. There's murders and all kinds of insanity. But I was lucky that he picked me, and especially to play Sebastian in Blade Runner, because that's a more sympathetic character, and I wore 2 hours of latex. But
wow.
It changed I was playing a lot of heavies and bad guys, pound crazy. But from there, I got many different kinds of roles. But it should have been better for me. Rutger Hauer, great actor, bless his soul.
Yeah.
But he went to the director and asked him to take out the scene where he kills me, and I die very well, and so you lose time on the screen. It makes Rutger more sympathetic.
Right.
I didn't say those things when he was alive. I didn't even realize. But that's what I'm in the middle of the pecking order at best. When you have a star, the character actor better go along and keep his mouth shut.
Right.
So I survived that too, and it's nice to be in a cult film.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And I'll never forget, when I saw that in the theaters, and your character, J.F. Sebastian, what can I say? I mean, he's humble, he creates his own friends and the robots that he builds. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
He made some mistakes, but so have I in my real life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's the essence of my book, the self-sabotage, the self-doubt, and so forth. But ultimately, it worked out pretty well.
I realize that, it doesn't matter what life you lead, whether you're in the Hollywood film industry or you're just a regular Joe. Everyone has tough times and the self-reflection and whatnot. And as an actor, and when you do so many things that you do as a character actor, I'm just, not just because I have you on this show, William, but I want you to truly know that you are fantastic. You're an amazing actor, period. And
well, that's very kind of you to say that.
Yeah.
I bet my head just getting a little bigger. But you better mention some of the projects that I did.
Oh yeah, I got them right here, buddy.
At one point, that's part of my book. That guy, they'll say, maybe they don't know my name. They know they saw me in a movie.
Oh, for sure.
I don't mean to be pushy.
Oh, you're not. Hey, let me tell you something.
There's people listening who will say, "Who's that?"
Okay, so they won't be saying that because you're going to be seen as we're talking. You're being seen, so people know who you are. So, but still, just for kicks, let's start out with your first film, The Other Side of Victory, that was credited and paid from 1976. And there's tons of them, but the names are Starsky and Hutch. We've got, for sure, the Dukes of Hazzard, Walking Tall. I love the original Walking Tall shows. Quincy. Everybody knows Raggedy Man. That was Henry Thomas that played Elliot in E.T.'s first film. Sissy Spacek. And, of course, we all know Blade Runner. And then The Executioner.
Sissy Spacek, you mentioned a great lady. I got to work with her in Coal Miner's Daughter, which she won an Academy Award.
Yes.
She's one of those great Texas actresses. I love work, and I did another film with her called Raggedy Man, written by Texan, but I've shot all over Texas. I had to interject that because she's such a class act, and
she's a fantastic artist.
You know, whatever the credits are, if people want to look at them, I was lucky at the end in my 60s to do 2 hit series in a row. So forgive me for interrupting.
No, you're not interrupting. This show is all about you, Bill, and I want and I know that a big majority of the listeners that are listening know who you are already. But there's the younger generation. But I can assure you, Knight Rider, and one that's really awesome that I didn't know till I was looking on your IMDb last night was Lone Wolf McQuade with Chuck Norris. That was sweet. And then, like I said, I was watching Fletch on TV, and there you were. Of course, the Twilight Zone. Everybody knows Twilight Zone. But has anybody ever heard of the show Newhart? If you can kind of remind me of what your known role, what your saying is. I love it.
I might have missed a couple things you said, but Newhart, I'll tell you how it is. It used to come up and say, "I love you" on that show. Well, I played Larry and my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. I used to say, "Hi, I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl, and this is my other brother." So a few years later, after the show was off, somebody would come up to me and say, "Oh, my father just loved you on that show. We watched it together." And then years later, they would say, "My grandfather loved you on Newhart."
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I'm still here, and I was glad to do a sitcom while my parents were alive. They didn't have a lot of vulgar, like True Blood. Some people on HBO call it vampire porn. Deadwood, which I'm most proud of, had some rough language, but that's the way it was back then in the 1800s.
That was HBO series, right? I know the True Blood was, but the HBO, the True Blood was, you played that sheriff, which is a fantastic role. I watched all of the series of True Blood. I hated that it came to an end. I know that you only kill vampires for so long, but wow, I really enjoyed that. So.
No, I'm glad that they of course retired me, but then they brought me back and put an Obama mask on me, and I was paid and killed me off. But I was paid for roles that I didn't do, and I always like that. You get a certain guarantee.
Yeah.
And before that, Deadwood, I was very fortunate in that the creator put me in every show, and only Ian McShane, who played the main bad guy, and I were fortunate enough to do. Of course, he was the lead, and I was the supporting.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun. And my agent once said, "Do you know how many actors get 2 hit series in a row?" So, and especially in my 60s, so I'm in my 70s now.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, I'm happy
never know. If it's not coming across, if it's not coming across.
That's right. It's how you feel and what you're still doing, which you still have stuff in post, I see as well. But you know, a lot of people that want to get into the acting, you know, industry side of things, which is very, very difficult, because I know it's especially now it's so hard. It's so competitive, like you said earlier in the show. But you know, the behind the scenes of, you know, when you're a character actor, you know, you're limited. You know, these aren't huge long roles, so there's a lot in between, correct? So there's a lot of downtime.
Absolutely. You talk about well, the book is I'm told it's an inspiration. The first reviewer, who was wrote a great, he says in the review, if you want to make an impact in life, you should read this book. It's very hard for me to talk about the book and not sound like Tommy Lee Jones.
You're good.
Sissy Spacek said when he walks in the room, you know he's the smartest man in the room. Now, I don't know what that means, but Tommy is smart. I loved working with the guy. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. But
you can say it. Go ahead. You can say it.
Well, he's just a funny. I'll give you an innocent quote. He picked me up in a hotel in San Antonio, not far from where you are, right?
Yep, exactly.
And I love it down there. And he was behind a lattice work. Maybe he didn't want to get recognized. I said, well, what are you lurking out there for? He said, I don't lurk, I loom. Yeah, he does loom, and he's done so well. And
yeah,
I'm very proud to have worked with him a lot of times.
Yep.
I don't really know what he thinks about me. He didn't want me to talk in the client. And
what's with
but
that?
I kept the money.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Yeah. That's hilarious. I would love to just the amount of stories that you have, just sitting down, you know, and you know, just I could go on for hours and hours on the backstories. I love the behind, like what you were telling me about Rutger Hauer. I mean, it's amazing.
I don't tell that much.
Yeah,
but
it's all good.
At
it's
this
all
stage, I say what happened. You know.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not saying
my
anything.
My book is about successes and disappointments,
right?
And often being a danger to myself. If I can interject that, the drinking, the arrest. Over a dozen of those, the self-sabotage, as I mentioned, the self-doubt, but somehow continuing to land jobs in movies, TV, commercials, cartoons, books on tape, voiceovers, etc.
Right.
But it could be the stupidest thing I've ever done, the book, because I tell on myself. But
you're. Let me tell you something, Bill. You're a human being, and there's nothing wrong with. I think it's awesome in this book. So look, I just recently received the book, and I haven't had a chance to go all the way through it, but I was already into it, and it's real. You know, this is somebody that has an unbelievable experience in the Hollywood industry, and what I mean, it inspires. I can tell you that, and that's what our show Collection Wars is about, is inspiring. Whether they're high-end collections or industry guests, we like to inspire our audience and make them feel we're all human, you know, and there's nothing wrong with things. It's a fact.
My story, it's a ratio out there. It's a rough childhood at home. Yeah. Not out stalking Elvis or listening to music. And that part, and I played sports until I was too small. And but you know, I don't want to cry in my own whatever. Santana wrote a book. My wife likes him.
Yep.
And so I read the book, and he said, "Don't cry at your own movie." So it was the struggle and the overcoming and some minor miracle of achieving pretty good success, you know.
So
forgive me for getting ahead of you.
No, you're great. You're super classy, William. So let me ask you something real quick. So, I notice, when I watch an actor and they're actually playing a certain role, they usually do a really fantastic job when they're close to the inner. And I'm thinking of Tom Cruise for one when he did Rain Man, and it kind of reminded me of. So what I'm getting at is, Bill, when you're acting, is there several roles, or is there roles that is close to your heart where it just makes it like no big deal because you don't really have to act because it's you?
Well, I start with myself, but the joy in the business, and I imagine for most people, are playing different things, and I think I might sound the same, but I played quite a few. Deadwood, he was a survivor in a very rough town where there was a murder a day in the 1870s, and he's a real life character, but the creator turned him into a buffoon, but that's all right. That's not a problem for me. But he was snarky, he is smiling, he is greedy, but big time survivor, and that's what I liked about that. I'll put your audience to sleep, but if they read Edgar Allan Poe, there's a character, the Imp of the Perverse. That's what the nickname the creator of Deadwood gave me. It's a person who will do the wrong thing every time, just because it's wrong. Come up on an abyss and it's dark and you shouldn't jump in there. He will jump in. I don't know. I did that, but in spite of that, I'm still talking to you.
Yeah, let me tell you. I
have grandchildren. I'm happy.
That's right. And let me tell you, you're not boring anybody. What you're telling me right now is just so awesome. I think about, it's one thing when your agent sends you a script and you read the script, and then, you land the role of that character, and then you show up to the set, and then there you are. Do you like the practical effects of things, like in Deadwood, for example, when they create a town from the 1800s? What's that like? That really helps you get into your role, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was a team effort. The costume designer won all kinds of awards. The production designer won in the Muddy Thoroughfare, and I had shot another Western there called Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis, and
great movie.
That's another challenge. That's another challenge,
but. Did he cut you out of that movie too? About 10 minutes of a role, or what? What did he do? Do you like Bruce?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No problem. Yeah, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to the way that we're doing this recording. I'm trying to make it where it's where I can hear. I'm sorry if you're having trouble hearing me, but I can hear you great. And
that time, not the whole time, but it could be my fault. I'm old.
No. So let's move on a little bit and let's get into your book and tell our viewers, what inspired you to do the book and where you're at on it and where our viewers can get this book.
I'll ask you, was it vanity that inspired me? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
There's no way. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to stop you. Vanity? No.
Yeah.
No. To do the book, vanity? I wouldn't say so, William. I would say inspiration, educational, how to educate and let people know that go through these things in life. I don't know where vanity came from, because there's nothing wrong with somebody who has.
It comes from the Bible.
I got you.
Vanity is all is vanity, and
right.
I don't want to come. Of course, I wrote it because I'm proud of my life. I'm not proud of some of the things I did, and they're in the book. But if I want to make a joke, I say it's a good way to dig my own grave, as opposed. Or in the book, I say, make my mark in the court of posterity, I want people, but the reviewer, it's very hard for me to sit and not brag on it. I'd ask people to read reviews on Amazon.
Right.
And one of them said, I don't know. I was talking to him yesterday. He said the character could make a movie because of the challenges in life and overcoming and succeeding. And I don't know. I lost my thought when it's very hard to. I have had to make speeches, and I just said it earlier what the book's about.
Yeah.
About my successes and disappointments, but Hollywood itself, just surviving over 40 years. Hollywood is like a cruel mistress, and
wow.
I'm grateful to survive it. I'm happy, and but you know, when you're doing well, everybody's your pal.
That's right.
It cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, that's amazing though. But you know, you can't help but when I understand what what your thought process was when you were talking about the vanity side of things, when you're creating and writing your own book. What gives me the right to write a book, to put it out there? Why would people? Well, let me tell you why, William, because you have a almost 5-decade career in dealing with Hollywood and that type of industry. And I can tell you what, I was in Hollywood for 1 year and I couldn't get out of there quick enough. So, you know, just what you have to go through and what it takes to sit on a set and the downtime in between takes and everything that an actor goes through. And to see the amount of TV shows and the amount, not counting any stage, but all the motion pictures and it's just absolutely, I mean, you're very blessed. And most of all, when I said this, I said it at the beginning of the show, you're very humble. Whether you believe that or not, you're a very humble human being, and you've been really classy to take the time to come on my show, Collection Wars, and talk to me and my friend Gabe. And it means so much to me personally because I know your career, and I can assure you that you still have plenty of time. You know, there's still more to come for William.
I thank you for your kindness. And when you interviewed Tommy Lee Jones, so ask him what he meant when you told Sanderson he has a lot to be humble about.
Okay, you know what? It's funny because every once in a great while, the first time I ever saw him was at a Home Depot, and then he picked up a couple of my friends on the side of the road coming back from Horseshoe Bay. But yeah, he's a good dude. You know, I that's cool that you've been down here to San Antonio. So I'm about 30 minutes north of San Antonio, out in the hill country. And I want you to know, you and your lovely wife, who's by the way been wonderful, you know, back and forth to put this interview together. I would like you to please let her know that I am very grateful to her.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, for sure.
And Scott too. But I know I'm leaving something out, but we got time. I'm on your dime. Repeating myself every 30 minutes. I really repeat myself. Obviously, I like the sound of my own voice, but
well, yeah.
Call me Little Tommy Lee.
That's crazy.
Anyway, life's good, man, and thank you. All right.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? You're definitely welcome back to Collection Wars anytime. And I wish you know, it's hard to wish somebody that's some extending success that you have already led, you know, for so many decades. And I can tell you, you know, you're awesome. And I'm so grateful in my life that I was able to talk to William Sanderson. And I cannot wait. And I hope, William, that I can meet you in person one of these days. So.
Yeah, that would be nice, and we'll talk sometime about all the cities I worked in Texas, and I'm not running for any political office.
Oh, man, don't get me going on any of that crap.
The people were really wonderful, from Marshall to Gonzales to Gregory to the big cities, Houston, Fort Worth, Dallas, a lot of them, but I don't drop names, I drop cities.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, when you... Yeah, and God, where's Tommy Lee from? What's his original town? It starts with golly, I forget. It's not far, obviously, out of San Antonio, but I forget where he's actually from. But
he in San Saba, he has a ranch.
That's it.
He has more than one, but we saw a polo match there. He's like 7th generation Tommy Lee. But first of all, if you see Tommy, he is a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough on the interviews, but just say, "Oh no, he loves you. He thinks you're a saint." Start it out. Let him go from there. I gotta go, man. My wife is demanding that we go out, and it's raining like. But good luck to you. All right.
Listen,
I hope I'm not cutting you off.
No, you're not. And listen, William, thank you so much for the interview. And just to let you know, we air the Collection Wars on Saturdays in the evenings at Central Time around 9:00. So I'm not sure that it'll be on this Saturday, but the following Saturday for sure. So on YouTube, Collection Wars, please take the time, because I think I would like, actually personally to you, I would like you to see what we put together for you. Okay?
Yeah. Remind me, because when you're in your 70s, you move slower, you forget stuff, and but it's an honor. Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
Go.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll send her an email. Bye-bye.
Thank you very again. Bye-bye.
Of course.
All right. Well, there it is. Yeah. Sorry.
We're good. Thank you, babe. Hey, I'm like in the Calo snow mountains right now, just chilling. No. Hey, Gabe, listen, having him on the show, it's so cool because, it's in the library now. You know what I mean? We're going to have that. And, he's so well respected in the industry, and
yeah. So let me ask you, Michael, like you obviously, you're a fan. You've been following his career for a very long time. How did it feel to be able to talk to somebody that, you kind of looked up, well, you looked up to, and you really, respected his career? How did that feel?
You're right. It's, there's that part where you got to be professional. You and I both know we've got some upcoming talent that we're going to have on here. And again, we're going to have to step up and be professional again. But, he is, just some of the things that he's done, and that I've, I sit down and I watch something to know that, like a lot of actors that I've met and talked to, but, to take the time to be on our new show, that means a lot, and this guy, he's legit, and it's really cool. I want so much to be able to interact and ask, like William, some of the stories. Can you imagine some of the backstories, Gabe, that he has with some of these actors? And like when he mentioned Rutger Hauer, so that scene in Blade Runner, and we'll get into that with the guys, but it's, you don't want him to die. You know what I mean? You want him to live, and then you come to find out that, it's really cool stuff.
Well, yeah, so we have a couple of guests today to kind of chat about that interview and a little bit about Blade Runner and some props and some art and everything. So let's bring them on. Yeah.
That sounds really good. Sounds real good.
So we got Lee, Mr. Lee.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Lee, how are you, brother?
Good, man.
Good, buddy.
Cheers, Michael.
Hey, man. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Armando and the guys that are also joining us.
And then we got Joseph in the house. What's up, Joseph?
Boys, it's good to see you again.
My brother.
So you guys listened to the interview. What did you guys think? That's pretty crazy, right? For Michael to be able to talk to him. That's insane.
Yeah.
What a career. I mean, spanning decades and working on all those films. And I mean, we, of course, because we love Blade Runner,
right.
Those of us who have seen it.
I've seen it.
I forgot my flute. I forgot my flute today.
You knew that was going to happen, Dave.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, we love Blade Runner. So of course he's special to us for that. But, for all the other films he's been in, it's that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me see if I could find it. What about you, Lee?
Did he tell you, Michael, how he actually died? Did you guys edit that bit out, or did he explain to you how he killed him?
he didn't go into detail. We kept kind of getting off track of what we were talking about. When you're on a phone deal, there's just so much you want to. We already knew that we had a certain amount of time to get the interview done, but yeah, if I could just focus on one thing. But again, I know it's kind of younger generation stuff, but some of the stuff that he did in the 70s was really, really cool things, and Joseph knows what I'm talking about. Joseph's
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah,
don't let the hair loss fool you. I'm not that old. No.
Hey, have you seen Lone Wolf McQuade, Joseph?
No, I haven't. My dad used to watch all those movies, but I haven't seen. I probably saw it as a kid and don't remember. Yeah. But it's very interesting though what he mentioned about Rutger Hauer killing him, right? That they cut that scene. That means it was obviously filmed. Yeah. And so I wonder if the footage still exists.
It's out there somewhere.
Yeah, it was graphic. It was graphic. But William was very respectful in the fact that, and he said it, he wasn't the leading actor. And can you imagine being in that position of being a character actor, a background character? And in my humble opinion, I've watched it a lot lately. It's kind of crazy, but he gets a lot of screen time in Blade Runner, Sebastian character. And not quite much different than Rutger Hauer's character. But when you've got a leading actor that goes to the director Ridley Scott and says, "Hey, I want my character to be a little bit more sympathetic, so even though, we killed him off, I'd like to maybe cut that." And he respects his wishes, and then there's less screen time for him. But that actor wants so much. And that goes to show the respect that William has towards, these other people, to not go and say, "Hey, look, that's, guys, me, I'm pretty loud." I'd have been like, "Hey, that shit, I died good. I want to make sure, what about, and he's respectful,
Well, the egos.
That's right.
Of those guys from that era are a lot different than what you see in actors today.
Yes.
I've met a few people. I'm not going to name any names, but people who were actors who, I'd never seen before. I'd never seen a film they were in. I didn't even know who they were when I met them, and they, they acted as though they were an A-lister. That it was just, it was, you get taken aback a little bit by that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
And
but
and so it's nice to see that.
But obviously, even just talking about that cut scene, you know what I mean? And kind of thinking about the character, you guys think that was the right choice?
I actually, in my humble opinion,
I think so.
Yes. Because the more of that you see, the less sympathy that you have for the character for
Rutger Hauer. Yeah, it just made him look like a mindless killer if he was just killing everybody, right?
Yeah.
But think about this though. Ridley Scott did Alien in 79 and then Blade Runner in 82. That's two classics back to back, right, Gabe?
Absolutely. I'm the number one Aliens fan. You know that.
Yeah.
But that's two great movies. It's very different. You know what I mean? Right after each other.
Very true. Yeah. But it really is. It's filmmaking, I think, has evolved over the last couple of decades to a point where I think actually it's lost something. I think there's less subtlety, there's less focus on actual storytelling and more focus on spectacle. And we were just before the show, I was watching TV and Back to the Future was on. And
I was watching it too.
Part 2?
No, that's when I turned it off.
The original one.
I turned it off.
And
Come on,
Gabe's shaking his head. So, but it's just very interesting to watch that movie and pick out all of the little subtle, story points and the little Easter eggs, things that they insert in there, and the things that are almost not the things that are not said are almost as important as the things that are said, and that's not, you don't see that in movies today. Everything has to be, enunciated, delineated, everything, they have to lay out everything for you.
Like the Pines Mall, right? And the Twin Pines Mall.
Yeah, a lot of things. The clocks at the beginning. I mean, there's a lot of foreshadowing in Back to the Future. I love it.
So that's brilliant.
Yeah. So
number two is the best, though.
You see that in Blade Runner too. You just, you don't. You finish the movie and you don't even have a resolution as to what's going on. I mean, there's a lot that's implied, but I think that's part of the beauty of it. To me, that's what's special about 2001 too. As a film, is that there's so much that's left to interpretation. It's more like a piece of art, or listening to a piece of music than it is, getting a story.
Yeah.
Wow, that was deep.
Well, that's what when 2001 was made, Stanley Kubrick said, this film isn't to be watched as a film. You're supposed to take in the film as you would a piece of music, and that's why it was left open to interpretation.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost the story that you're not supposed to take literally.
Well, wasn't Star Wars? Didn't George Lucas make a comment something about that too? That it's supposed to be very like a song. You know what I mean? Where there's certain parts and then it repeats itself and the chorus and all that.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, one movie that we didn't bring up in the interview that I think is also a big, obviously he's been a part of a lot of franchises.
Yeah.
But another like cult franchise is the Rocketeer. And he was in the Rocketeer.
That's
right. I found the scene that he's in. Here, let me see if I could play it for you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's I don't know how to make it like full size, remember?
Take it easy. We're gonna take a while. Come on, I'm gonna finish by the coffee. Swell outfit, Dad.
Right there.
Hey, it's Mr. Ketchup Bottle. What fish you got there? Hey, wait a minute. That's Lady Luck. Get the gun! Billy, sorry about all this. I'll fix everything.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks for bringing that up, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Just because obviously, there's, people that collect stuff, obviously, and a lot of our viewers, I think they're fans of a lot of the same franchises that we all are. Right?
Yeah,
I think that's another huge one. Yeah, Rocketeer has a huge following too.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned on a future episode. I'm working on getting that's another prop I'm working on. Is the jetpack.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you watch True Blood, Gabe? Did you watch it?
I did watch True Blood. I watched it probably up to like season 4, around there. I love that show.
Oh,
it was such a good show.
Christine Power, I met her at Cheyenne Comic-Con, and she was really cool.
Yeah, me and my wife would call it Suki Boobies. That was the name of the show. For some reason, every single time.
That's funny.
Her boobs were always out.
Oh, is that? I haven't seen True Blood. That's why he called it vampire porn?
Vampire porn.
Oh, yeah. You never watched that show, Joseph?
No, I've never seen it.
It's awesome. It's
well worth watching.
Okay.
Yeah. Another good point, and I think Lee brought this up the other day, and he sent let me find the picture really quick. Hold on. The picture with let me see if I can find it here. So Lee brought up a good point that there's another connection, or at least an implied kind of connection between Blade Runner and Star Wars. And let me see if you guys could catch it. What do you think? I mean,
that's the picture. So I called Joseph. I was like, "Have you seen this?" And he was like, he looked up the image. He's like, "I guess you're not the only person that's had that."
No.
Yeah. Well, it's another example of modern filmmaking, and not being able to be original about much.
No.
So
there's a lot of characters in those movies, though.
Yeah.
So
that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, I mean, it was great having him, and then that's a cool little tidbit that I don't think a lot of people knew, that he actually was killed in the movie. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
By the way, Gabe, speaking of connections, I just discovered that there's also connections between. But I'm sure you guys know this, but that there are connections between Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I mean, besides the fact that George Lucas made them, but apparently there's a scene in Raiders where Indiana Jones comes out, and they're on the hieroglyphs on the wall. There's a C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yep.
And there's a scene in, is it Clone Wars, where they're loading up a ship and they're carrying an Ark of the Covenant up onto the ship.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of little things. Isn't there also, there's some movie poster inside of the at the end scene of Empire Strikes Back, and as the camera's pulling out, do you guys know about that? That if you look in one of the little windows, there's some reference to some other movies. Maybe somebody could help us out watching.
And on Indiana Jones, wasn't it one of the bars called Obi-Wan's?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, at the beginning of the best Indiana Jones.
Number 2, right?
Temple of Doom. Yeah.
So I think one of these nights we should have a show where we get to discuss our top 10 movies.
Oh, look at Warren. Yeah, no, absolutely. Warren says there's also a fertility doll in Solo. I mean, I wonder. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like in the room with the main bad guy. I forgot his name. That's cool.
It's Crimson Dawn, right? Is that up in that ship? Yeah.
I was too busy watching Emilia Clarke to notice any other of the.
Hey Gabe, let's give a shout out to everybody real quick.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. We had Harry up in here, Scott, Mr. Santos, got Juan.
Always Juan.
Wizard Wiz. MC.
Hey,
George, right?
George is in. George is in the house.
I gotta interject just 1 second. So I spoke to George today. I was cleaning my garage. So I called him up and I'm like, George, what are you, he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm sweeping my garage right now. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm in Orlando with the rest of the MCE crew and we're having drinks. And I was thinking to myself, oh, why am I not there?
So we got Dark Knight Archives. Great interview. Thank you. We got Pete. There you go. Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Harry. Yeah, he definitely seemed like a very down-to-earth guy, right, Michael?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely down to earth. There's so many of them out there that really are that you never know. And I never brought this up. I think I might have talked to Deckard. I'm not real sure, but Daryl Hannah. I had the opportunity at a function to meet her, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
she was super classy.
Yeah, Harry's got jokes. I was trying to figure out. I was like, I was gonna wear a T-shirt. I was like, I need something with a knife. That way I could joke around. And I'm like, oh, that's the Blade Runner, right? Yeah.
Blade Runner's biggest fan T-shirt. That's what you need.
There you go. Yeah, we got David. What's up, David? Who else? We got Warren.
Bottom line. I'm sorry. Bottom line is Blade Runner's it's a cult film. It's a film that the most people that like Blade Runner, they're people that are from that era, you know.
Yeah.
So and that have seen it, you know.
Well,
Nice.
Michael, it sounds like you just got an invitation to interview Tommy Lee Jones next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I was talking to J.J. Abrams earlier today about that and it's hilarious, that guy. Anyway.
Did you tell him his Star Wars movies suck?
I didn't have to.
Did you guys see? Actually, let me bring that up because I need to. Did you guys see that? And it's kind of off topic, but
yes.
So there's this case that came down, and it was an appeal where the court was discussing basically some labels. You know, essentially saying like, can they say that they're, I think, all natural or something like that. But anyways, in the opinion, the judge actually cites and says, that's like George Lucas saying he's not going to make any more, like, I forgot what the words he says. I think it's like cheesy, bad movies or something like that. And then in the footnote, he's like referencing the sequels. It's like the return or was it the Rise of the Skywalker and that other one here. Let me throw it up really.
Yeah, what did he say? They were mediocre.
Yeah,
mediocre.
I loved it. I was like, so now legally, there's you could cite to that technically. I'm actually going to use that next time I'm writing a motion or something. I'm going to cite to that case. Just so I'll bring that up.
That's great.
No, it's I got it. Let me see. Here's the opinion, and it's just so hilarious to me. Especially, I think it's one of those legal for us legal nerds. Look at that. That's like George Lucas promising no more mediocre schlocky. I don't even know what that word means. Star Wars sequel shortly after selling the franchise to Disney. Such a promise for Lucifer. Here it is, as evident by Disney's production of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker.
In the small print.
Yeah. Now, the footnotes are the best sometimes for legal cases.
The funny thing is that the judge actually cites those two movies specifically, right?
Yeah. That's hilarious, man.
And not The Force Awakens, but those other two movies.
Yeah. Which that reminds me, with the interview with Bill. Did you guys catch that at the beginning that he said he went to law school and he actually went to law school and graduated, but he didn't take the bar exam. So yeah, we're this close. We're this close to not having them in any movies.
Oh, I know that crazy. That's really cool that you bring that kind of stuff up. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah,
he served in the military too.
It's crazy, there's a whole list of famous actors who, actors and actresses who have these resumes that go, they're far beyond acting. Like I can't remember his name, the Asian guy in Hangover, and now he's he's a dentist.
Is that the dude with the quarter-inch?
Yeah, that movie.
He's a dentist. And then
is it a dentist or a doctor? I think he's an actual. Yeah, I think he was a regular doctor, like a general practitioner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then I think, or I can't remember. Is it Brian May from Queen, the guitarist? He's an astrophysicist. Yeah. And Dolph Lundgren has several PhDs, I guess. I mean, it's crazy.
That girl that used to be on like Blossom and she was in the Big Bang Theory, right? She's like, she has a PhD in like neuro, whatever.
Yeah.
Neuro something.
Anyway.
So, all right. So look, guys, obviously, we're going to talk about Blade Runner and we're going to talk about some amazing props too, courtesy of Joseph. Joseph has a lot of cool props. And then we're going to look at some artwork from Blade Runner too. But I think we should jump into some of the props because I've always, and are you well obviously versed on all these, Joseph? Because I actually have some questions about the guns because I know there's a lot of different versions and variations.
Yeah, there are, and I'm not familiar with all the different. I mean, there are people who spent their lives, and they just devote their lives to the the study of this prop.
Right.
And at this, I can't actually. I'm blanking on the name of the gun that this is made from.
I wanted to get the overall shot, but I guess we'll get to it.
Okay.
I love how you do your backgrounds to, like, when you send me pictures, like, which was super classy. You
well,
sent to Haley the other day on the flash helmets and stuff. But I love how you shoot the stuff. It really brings it out. That's what I like to do, the blue screen on my ships. It's really nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's funny. I had a photo booth set up with that backdrop, and every time I'd unpack a prop, I would set it up and on a turntable and take all these pictures with the idea of posting everything on Instagram. And then it just got to be so tedious. I realized if I did this for everything I unpack, I'm not going to unpack my room for another 100 years.
Right.
So and I have this whole stockpile of photos I haven't posted on Instagram that are all like this, but I've since closed up that photo booth, and I haven't been doing that with all this.
That's stuff. Only 5 years longer than it's going to take you to unpack anyways. Right.
Hey, Joseph, so explain to everybody what this gun is. This is from the original Blade Runner, and this is Harrison Ford's pistol.
Excuse me.
He can't handle his whiskey. He's drinking that Star Trek.
Oh, man. We're gonna have to pull up. We're gonna have to pull up the Pluto shame.
That went down the wrong side.
Oh, dude, you got it.
So obviously, this is from the first one.
Yeah. So this is Harrison Ford's blaster from the first Blade Runner, and it's a highly revered prop. It's like Han Solo's blaster. Mm-hmm. But it's actually made from. I mean, the original prop was made from parts of. I'm blanking on the name of the gun right now, but it's made from an actual gun that was cut down and then modified with the LEDs that you see there, the little red LEDs and the transparent orange resin handle. And this particular prop was made by Temenosuke in Japan, and they do a beautiful job, recreating these, because that's all. I mean, that is when you hold that gun, it is a real gun barrel. I mean, it's.
Show us some other pictures, Gabe. Click it around.
It's all metal. There's a serial number engraved on the barrel.
Yeah.
The handle is absolutely flawless. Clear resin.
Can you still get them?
So Temenosuke would do these runs, right? Every year they would put out these runs, and they would say, this is the ultimate, this is our final version that is the most accurate. And then a few years later they come out with another one, and they're like, we discovered some other things and we've modified it slightly, and this is our final version. And so who knows now. Hollywood Collectibles Group, I think, has this available now, but not as a finished gun. I believe it's in kit form.
Right.
Yeah.
EFX did it too, right? Did they actually make it? I know
No.
Bad subject.
Yeah. So no. EFX took the Temenosuke blaster, and they weathered it to look like the one on screen, and then they had a signature, like a Harrison Ford signature plaque or something with it. But it is the one they sold is the Temenosuke blaster. They just tripled the price on it.
Yeah, but it comes in like some really fancy wooden box, right?
It comes in a wooden box, yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron
to the rescue.
Steer, Manager, and
I see the Remington part. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother Manny reached out to
There
me.
you go, Michael.
Because he. What's that?
There you go.
What is that for? What's that about? No. I was going to say my buddy Manny, he reached out talking about he was wanting to get a hold of Gabe because he knew that you talked to Brian every once in a while in regards to the Biker Scout helmet and whatnot. And obviously, I guess he paid for that pistol through.
He never got it.
Yeah, he never got it either. Yeah, so
yikes.
I know there's a lot.
I don't know anyone about that from EFX.
Yeah.
Hey, Joseph, did these? So what about these bullets? Do they came with it?
Yeah, the bullets. So the bullets come with the Temenosuke, and they're just blanks. They're not, but they are brass. That? But they are brass and steel. I mean, they're heavy, but they're not obviously not real bullets.
Where did you get that?
Your microphone now is too good.
Oh, sorry.
It was like,
where did you get that one from Japan?
I bought it through Hollywood Collectibles Group.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the distributor at the time, and then I got the acrylic stand from. Actually, I also bought that through Hollywood Collectibles Group, but it's not made by Temenosuke.
Because the eBay market on these are insane.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But let me tell you, it is definitely one of those things that you hold in your hand and you feel like you are holding the gun from the film.
Whoa, easy about that holding that in your hand. Hey to Buddy Griffin. That's my son-in-law, Buddy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel always, buddy. I love you, son. Yeah, he's a good kid. Matt, what's up, guys? Hey, Matt, how are you, Matt? Did you watch Blade Runner?
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, I missed. Yeah, I watched it. I watched it in parts.
So we've been giving him hell on the cargo hold tonight.
So I just want to just say something briefly. So I know I've mentioned this a couple of times on the show that how much that the best part of this hobby is all the people that we get to meet, right? Yeah. And after I was on the show, Matt has reached out to me, and it turns out he lives only about 20 minutes away from me. And so we connected up a few days ago. We got together and had drinks, and it was a lot of fun. He's a great guy. So I have you guys to thank for that, for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Nerd famous.
Yeah. Hey, so do you know anything about the handle? Because obviously, like, it's a very specific resin, right? It's a resin handle.
Yeah, and I think there's some controversy as to what the true color is on that, because I know that several versions have come out with, like a brown resin, clear resin, and orange clear resin. Yeah. But honestly, I don't know. I'm not well versed enough on the topic to, wax eloquently about it.
Gabe, done that guy that we found on YouTube a while back?
Yeah.
I rendition of this gun, and it's very impressive.
Oh, he has so many different ones too. So I think he has all the different variations.
Yeah, I have a second one of that.
Oh, nice.
Here, let me go grab it while you're showing the
All right, let's go through a couple. I really love this little. I don't know what it is, like a little laser thing on the side. It just looks.
It's a badass gun.
It is, man.
The display is really cool.
I think it's a stylus for your iPad.
There you go.
It is cool. That stand is really cool. How they laser cut that perfectly around there. That's really nice and clean. I like that.
Yeah.
So, for you guys who are interested, so this is.
Hold on. Let me put you on. Sorry. I don't know how to get you on the top. There you go. All right.
Okay. So, this is the blaster. This is how it comes.
Is that the kit version there, Joseph?
No, this is a finished version. And here, let me take it out of the box here.
Look, Gabe.
Joseph, how you gonna tease the people with the stuff in the background? Come on, Joseph. But anyway,
I'll move the camera here in a little bit and you guys can see that. Oh, well, unfortunately, this one is it's all wrapped up and I don't really want to take it out, but this is how it comes. And you can see this one actually has the brighter orange resin handle and a more silver barrel than the other one. But I'll have to take it out.
Wait, so who makes this? Who makes that one, Joseph?
It's also from Tomenosuke.
Oh, okay.
It's just an earlier version
of it
that they said wasn't, and then they came out with a more accurate version, which is the one that you see the pictures of.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
come check on.
Yeah, David has the Blu-ray box set one. I got to see it in person. That thing looks awesome too.
Oh yeah.
You should just sell me that one then, Joseph, if it's the older version.
Yeah. Well, my plan was to actually display both of them together because they look so different.
No.
Yeah, I love that gun, dude. That gun's bad.
I'm surprised you don't have it, Michael. I'm actually surprised you don't have it.
You know what? I don't have anything Blade Runner, and it's funny because when I built my theater room, I have and Joseph brought it up the other day that you can't just name 5 films; it's got to be like 20. But I've got all these movie posters in my theater. There's about 15 of them, and Blade Runner's not one of them, and it should be. But I don't even have a poster.
So those red LEDs there, they light up, but the green LEDs that you see there, they don't light up, and they never lit up in the film.
No. It's just such a cool prop.
It is nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
And then just the way they did is it all metallic or is it some like plastic and metal? Obviously the resin handle, but
the resin, the handle is resin. The most of the body is metal, and then the part underneath with the red LEDs, that's plastic.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Joseph, the kit from HGC, is that when you say it's a kit, what is it? Just assembly required, or is it needs paint and the old 9 yards?
No. I believe it's just assembly, but it's.
I think they might actually do it for you.
Yeah, I think you can buy it. So they assemble it for you, or somebody assembles it for you. But I mean, it's like assembling a real gun. I mean, it's got all the springs and screws and stuff. But this one is not painted. I mean, that's glued steel, and I mean that's all metal.
Here, I'm gonna pull up the website real quick.
I do need one.
So it looks like they have a bunch of different versions of it. So they have this one apparently for $6.99 where it's already kind of all assembled and ready to go, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Now I don't know about the accuracy of it. It looks kind of cool, but it's probably
I love that amber color in the handle. Looks great.
Yeah,
I believe it's because Tomenosuke released these as finished guns and as kits, and I think it's just the Tomenosuke kit, and they're putting it together for you.
So here's all the different versions. Oh, here's the signature one. I think this is the one that people were getting from EFX.
Correct.
That haven't apparently, but look at the box just looks awesome, and then it apparently has his signature right there, right?
That's the one. Oh. That's the same picture from
the
price
website.
$3,000.
$3,000.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Though,
yeah, those Tomenosuke, the finished versions, like the ones I have, they retailed, I believe, for $800 to $900. So the kit was less.
Yeah.
And then to have it assembled, I'm not sure who's assembling it for Hollywood Collectibles Group, but $6.99 is still under what the Tomenosuke finished ones were.
This one's my favorite by far.
Which one is that? The 2049.
Just kidding. See, now I'm gonna have to be the bad guy in every single one. I'm gonna have to be like just picking the ones that nobody likes.
Like Back to the Future too.
Oh, you stop that, Michael.
So look, they have the kit for $3.99. They have the stand you can get, the OG edition. I don't know what that means, but looks different.
Yeah, the handle, it's much more clear.
Yeah.
I gotta get one of these.
I know, man. I'm gonna have to get one and put it next to my alien props.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. I mean, if you have a prop collection, I mean, that's definitely one of the highlights.
No.
Gabe, what alien props do you have? No, I'm serious.
I have none. I've never even watched the movie.
okay. Because hey, Manny, listen, Manny, he's right now building. I mean, it's amazing. Joseph knows he's building the bowcaster right now, and I called you the other day, Gabe, to tell you about it.
Yep.
He's almost done with it with the one that he's making that he's going to cast off of, but or not cast off of. But you've seen it, right, Joseph?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's he has one of the prop shop ones. So
yes.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say though, he has a legit life-size alien. It's badass, dude. It's got the little, when that thing's like starts shaking, and then all that little, you can see like the water and shit coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
it looks so badass,
just like the scene in the movie, right?
Yes.
My favorite one is the dog one, Michael. Even though I hated the third movie, that dog alien is awesome,
dude.
Next
you're gonna tell me that Temple of Doom's your favorite Raiders of the Lost Ark. God dang.
So this
Temple of Doom. Yes.
Come on, man.
Temple of Doom is my favorite.
I know, Gabe.
Back to the Future 2.
That's something I would not be bragging about.
Return of the Jedi.
I love you, but I've lost a lot of respect.
Oh man, Temple of Doom's great. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah, it's great if you're like sick with the flu and have nothing else on. But
so what's up with this one, Joseph?
So this is from Blade Runner 2049. This is Ryan Gosling's character's gun. And it's kind of a modernized version of that, but it has a carbon fiber grip, and the barrel is, completely, digitally sculpted, 3D created. It's a beautiful piece.
What's it made of?
Yeah. And then the stand, I actually got that stand from a maker on Etsy, and it's actually a replica of the wall tiles from
in Harrison Ford's. Yeah, in Harrison Ford's home. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it made of? Is it resin and aluminum?
This is resin.
Right.
Does it
light?
It's not that light. It's actually quite heavy, but it's more of a stunt prop. It's not a functioning gun.
Yeah,
man.
The trigger doesn't pull or anything like that, like on the Temenosuke, Harrison Ford version.
You like saying that name, Temenosuke, right? Say it again.
Yes, I
do.
do.
Spell it. God damn.
Eomen.
He's got the whole thing.
Yeah, but this is a beautiful piece, and I love the design of this weapon and how it's very. It complements the other one quite well.
It's a shame the movie sucked.
Lee, I have to disagree with you on that one. I actually really liked that movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I did. I enjoyed it a lot. And
I wanted to stick needles in my eyes.
Joseph, come on, take a bullet for old Gabe.
I know.
Did you like it better than the original? Did you like it better than the original?
You know what, Gabe? You're so cool.
Here's the thing. I made my wife, had never seen any of these films, but she is interested, and she looks at things from a different standpoint, right? Because her judgment isn't clouded by nostalgia and all of the other, the things that we look back and, we have memories associated with seeing these films. And so she's looking at these movies with a really fresh perspective. She watched Blade Runner. I wanted her to see it before we watched 2049, and she hated the movie. She absolutely hated it. And then, so she really didn't want to see 2049. And then she saw 2049 and loved it. It's like one of her favorite films. So
she loves Ryan Gosling.
Huh?
Because she loves Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he looked good with that gun in The Notebook.
No. She's a Chris Evans fan, not a Ryan Gosling fan.
Chris Evans, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Me and my wife and I actually watched. She watched it because I fell asleep. But we watched Blade Runner, the 2049. A long time ago, like when it first came out. And yeah, I fell asleep throughout. And I think she's watched a lot of movies that I haven't because I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Well, I'm actually really excited because of the same filmmaker is making Dune.
Oh, okay, nice.
Which I'm excited for that to come out. So it's.
Have you seen the original Dune, Gabe?
No. I haven't. Stop calling me out, Lee. Stop asking me if I watched it.
I just asked if you watched it. It wasn't calling you out.
I haven't watched anything at this point. Apparently,
that movie has never come up in a conversation, right? So I'm just curious if you've seen it or not.
I thought I was like a freaking pop culture geek, and apparently I haven't watched anything. Guess not. Yeah, that's what it was.
This is another prop from 2049. It's one of the memory modules, I believe.
Tree.
I believe he didn't even know. I'll take it. Joseph, what do you not have? It's like, but that's so cool.
And
look at that.
And that's also from 2049. That's Ryan Gosling's character. That's his wallet. Agent. What is it? K. And his badge and his notepad, and then the pen that he uses.
Joseph, that little thing that was in that piece of glass, was that from where Rachel was buried? Is that to do with that? I can't remember because I only watched it once in the theater. I fell asleep 5 times. I watched it again. I only fell asleep twice. But isn't that to do with that tree where Rachel was buried? Michael's favorite actress, because he loves her.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember now what it's from because it's been a couple of years, but I believe it's one of the memory, it's one of the glass data modules where they store information and then they put it on this light device. I can't remember now. I'm blanking on.
Maybe somebody on your knows.
Yeah.
Lee, you're getting called out. Look at this.
I'm not trying to make anybody feel guilty.
It's his British accent. I think that's what it is. It's very like authoritative. Like you're just like
that's the colonizer in me, Gabe.
Exactly. I feel like I'm like a student in Harry Potter in Hogwarts, and you're lecturing us. I don't know. That was the first reference that popped in my head.
That's funny.
All right. So, what else you got, Joseph? You got that thing?
I think that's
that was it.
Now, I did just recently get another prop from Blade Runner, but I don't have any photos of it, so I couldn't send them to you. It's Deckard's wallet from the original Blade Runner, and there's his wallet with the photos in it, his badge, his photo ID, and a bunch of money, of the Chinese money. It's a really cool prop. I got it recently from a website called Monsters in Motion.
What is that dialect they speak in the first movie? Because it's not Japanese, is it?
No, it's probably I don't know. It's probably Mandarin. Yeah, Mandarin.
I don't think there is.
No,
I don't think so.
Hey Lee, what was that artist that? Because I couldn't find the link.
Pablo Oliveira. That's I have 2 of his. What are you laughing at, Michael?
I'm laughing at Joseph's glasses empty, and he
Hold on, I'll send it to you now, Greg.
He's just great, dude. I got it. Sorry.
There you go.
Oh, Redemption.
Gabriel, I'm sending it to you right now.
No, I got it. I found it.
You know what I love, guys? I love watching Gabe lean back in his regal robot chair like he's a judge because he's an attorney, right? So he watches these judges, how they sit back, and it pisses him off. But he does the same thing. He just sits back and he just listens like the judge. Look at it. Look at that. He is definitely the judge.
Hey, order.
I'm going to start calling you judge. I was going to call him judge.
I'm going to hold you in contempt. All right, let's look at these beautiful pictures. This is crazy. This is insane, man.
I have that print. It is stunning.
How big are these?
They are 12 by 36.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It is absolutely stunning.
Bro.
So those flames look like they're actually on fire.
That's yours, Lee?
I have that print. So he sells his stuff exclusively through Bottleneck Gallery. These are only like $50, and the work is insane. So they'll do an original one, then they'll do 2 variants of his work.
Wow.
You can see the light.
It's beautiful.
Let me see if I can dig it out. It should be over here.
Yeah, that's just such a beautiful piece.
Oh my gosh, dude. Count me in, dude. I'm gonna definitely get one of those. Does he have a couple different ones?
Dude, look at all this. This is crazy.
They sell out in minutes. And
Look at this guy.
Did Lee walk off or
This is
what?
insane.
so that's it framed.
Look at that.
Wow.
His work.
Dan, you have my address, right, Lee? You got my address.
Wait, Lee, I'm gonna
This is I can't let this go. I've got,
Can you put
so
it
the
up?
other one that he did also, there you go. The other one that he did was a close-up of the pyramid, which is, I haven't got that frame yet, and that's phenomenal. It is. I love his work. He's putting out, so he is going to put some more work out from Blade Runner. He couldn't tell me when, and he couldn't tell me what because of, they've got to get okays from studios and stuff, but when...
So the pyramid, that's Terrell Corporation.
Yeah, the Terrell Corporation pyramid, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Look at all these. Man,
His work is
this one's so cool. I want this one. I love Greedo.
I love backstories more than anything.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Boba Fett one he's done, but he's never released it?
No.
Oh, here's the
That's the other one that I have.
it's a little small though, as far as can't really zoom into it.
Yeah, that is super cool.
You have that one too?
Joseph? Yeah, I just don't have it framed yet.
Man.
And I've got the Terminator one from him also.
This one? Unfortunately, it looks like he shrinks them down, probably so people
don't try and steal them. But if Gabriel, if you go to the link that I sent you, that's his actual digital online thing, and all his pictures are really big. Yeah,
no, this is the one. It's beautiful, man. It's all digital art, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, hey. So we can. Not everybody is a whiz to this, and can you guys explain how digital art works? Can you do that? It's almost like when you look at a studio scale practical effect model, and then you've got a digital. How do they create the art? I mean, with a digital piece like that.
I think it's the same. It's just on the computer, right? Like on a.
Yep.
Michael, a lot of these artists have really large screens that they work on, and they have a stylus that they can select, as a tool, as a brush, a thick brush, a thin brush, select a color palette.
Gabe, I'm sending you a picture of the one I'm talking about.
Look at that.
Yeah, and they can actually just.
I heard you, Joseph. That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually have a friend at work who loves to do that, and he's a huge Yoda fan, and he has an iPad and he has one of the Apple pencils, and he just draws, paints, art of Yoda when in his spare time, and it's pretty amazing.
God, seems like that's awesome right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Gabe, I just texted you 2 pictures of his Boba Fett that never got released, and that is super cool.
Let me share it really quick.
And his work is cheap. These prints are like $55. How cool is that?
That is amazing.
And what's the size of those at $55?
I'm not sure what size these. Well, this one never got released, I don't think. So he's on ArtStation.com, but his prints that get released through Bottleneck Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you've signed up for alerts from them, but they'll say they'll go. X artists will go on sale at noon on Tuesday, Eastern time, and within 3 minutes, everything's gone.
Gotcha.
It's crazy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. His work is incredible, man. And he's working on some new Star Wars stuff too.
Damn. Does this guy show up? Is he at celebrations? At the celebrations?
No, he's I think he's relatively new. He's come on the scene within the last, 3 or 4 years, I think, something like that. But his work is outstanding, man. I love landscapes like that and cityscapes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So
that Blade Runner one is beautiful, man.
Yeah. And that one, so I paid, I think it was $65, and it was on eBay for $1,000 now.
That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
was that, Michael?
Yeah. What? How much is the Blade Runner piece?
Well, when it came out, it was like $65. Now they're selling them for $1,000.
Oh, so if I wanted to buy that right now, I couldn't get it for the $60?
No, not from me. You couldn't. No.
Oh man, you're a flipper. A flipper.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Michael, how much have you had to drink?
Okay. That's just an inside joke between me and Lee. What did you say, Joseph? What's that, Joseph?
I said you want that piece of art for $60 from Lee. How much have you had to drink tonight?
Oh, I know, right?
Michael, if you want that, I can probably maybe get it for you if you really want. If any of you guys want it.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know, Lee. Really, it's a beautiful piece.
That's absolutely beautiful, and I love how he did the different atmospheric colorization there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Hey, Lee, I totally missed a little bit further back, but somebody was asking about your spear. You still got it out there somewhere?
Yeah, it's right here.
So Lee just picked up a life-size spear from the Mandalorian, the Beskar one.
That is amazing.
Look at that. That is so.
It's nice, man. They did such a good job machining this. Like the work is, and it's solid, and that's 3 pieces. It combines together, and it just goes together really, really well.
That's how Lee greets the FedEx guy.
I actually feel like I'm in Wakanda with this, more than Mandalorian.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's nice. They did a killer job, and it was only I think it was like 180 pounds, which is like $200.
So, in answer to the question, I do. I do have props from John Wick. So I have a lot of the coins.
Yeah, me too.
That were put out by Chronicle Collectibles. That they actually produced those.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Chronicle Collectibles, Gabe, you never showed the other blaster from Blade Runner.
The what?
You didn't show the other blaster from Blade Runner.
Which one?
The Sid Mead concept.
Oh, was it on there? Let me see.
For one more though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Sid Mead did a lot of the concept art, for Blade Runner, and he designed a blaster for Deckard for the original movie that never got made. But Chronicle Collectibles undertook making an actual prop out of the concept art. They produced it, and
no, it's not there. It'll be on Joseph's pictures.
Yeah, it's the picture that I sent you.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I skip that? No, I didn't.
You did skip it.
Did I?
Hey, who asked about the spear? Are they wanting one to get one, or do they have one?
Sorry, I totally. It was Matt, actually. Matt
Hess.
Yeah.
Matt, aren't you supposed to be working?
Did you send it? You sent it to me directly?
I did.
Joseph? Let me... Sorry.
If you can't find it, I'll send it to you again. But in answer to the question about the John Wick props, yeah, I have a bunch of the coins and then the Hot Toys figure of John Wick.
I got something you haven't got from John Wick.
What did you get?
Yeah.
I got the room key from the Continental.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was who was doing it? They were doing like a giveaway at San Diego. When you was it? 2019.
Yeah.
And you had to put your name in a box, a glass cube they had there.
Right.
And somebody won it and threw it up on eBay. So I met him in the parking lot and bought it off him for $100.
Dang.
Wow.
That's
Very
cool.
nice.
That's cool.
Shady dealings of San Diego.
I don't see it, Joseph.
You don't see it?
I'm going back and I got...
Just do a Google search for Chronicle Collectibles Sid Mead Blade Runner Blaster. And Sid Mead is SYDMEAD.
So Chronicles, do they still have stock that they are selling?
Who knows? But let me tell you something. I never thought that Blade Runner concept blaster was ever going to get made because as far as I figured, the company was already on the outs before it was, before they ever shipped it. And then,
well, I got a refund. Did you get the refund for the Barbasol can?
I did. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one.
Looks like it's still available on Sideshow.
Yeah, because I think they shipped it out to all the retailers after everyone canceled their pre-orders for it because they figured Chronicle was, out. I had it on order with Chronicle, and then when I started to become aware that they were having, business problems, I canceled all my pre-orders with them, and then I ended up ordering it through Big Bad Toy Store. It may still be available there as well.
That's a really cool looking piece.
It's really cool.
It is actually.
Yeah,
and that's about
$250. Yeah, nothing.
And it ships the next day, so they have them in stock.
The battery, the cylinder, the charge for the gun. It actually, you can put it in the gun and it lights up. It's a cool piece.
Did you read that 5 print on there though, Gabe?
No, what did it say?
You can only order this gun if you didn't fall asleep.
Okay, this is from the part 1 though? This is the original?
It's a concept. Right?
This was the concept. It's like the concept Vader helmet.
I understand.
From Macquarie. Basically never got made, but they made this based on the artwork.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Alien Tiger hybrid, right? From Aliens, right? I'm just making stuff up, guys. I haven't watched Aliens.
You were supposed to have watched it by this weekend.
I got confused. I was like, "There's an aliens."
Before you start giving him crap, did you watch the movie I told you to watch? Yeah. Huh.
Well, I've had a rough week. Well, we've all kind of had. Some.
I am not watching Harry Potter.
Wait.
Have you guys seen?
Wait a second.
Yes, we are. Look, and that wasn't even
you guys. Oh my God! Did you guys call each other?
What are you wearing? Oh, what are you wearing?
Yeah. You know, it would be super cute
By the way,
if we both
wife.
had the same shirt on the show.
Not even planned. It was hilarious.
It wasn't even planned.
Yeah.
I called Lee right before the show, and he's like, "Oh God, what are you wearing?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey,
We have,
okay.
Oh yeah, no, what shirt? I know. I didn't wear my club merch. I know, man. It's
Michael. Did you get your shirt yet?
No, I have not.
It's on.
If it showed up in the last day or two, I'll go ask my neighbors because it probably floated down there, but I can check and see.
No.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, there's no way. But no, I have not yet. But I need to get yours out as well. Gabe, I got him covered on the shirt.
You're no rush, buddy. You got bigger fish to fry than a T-shirt.
Thank you, though.
So
don't worry about that.
So besides your guys' cute outfit,
his and hers.
Yeah, I like the fact that that's your wife, right? Joseph,
that was my wife that pointed that out. Thanks.
Oh, was it really?
High five.
That's hilarious. Thank you, FF. You're in my bad books now for calling us out.
She's awesome.
That's right.
I know.
Yeah, Joseph, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. She's good.
It would have been extra cheesy if me and Michael were both wearing the same shirt. It would just
have this shirt too? I bet you do, Gabe.
What?
You know,
do you have this
actually
shirt?
the reason I got this T-shirt is
I don't
because
have that.
Didn't Mondo do the poster of this?
Yes.
And I meant to order it, and when I went to order it, it was already sold out. So when I saw this T-shirt available, I bought it.
Pete, why do I get the what is it, alien?
That's right.
Oh man,
Michael, don't you agree though that the coolest alien out of all of the movies is the dog one?
Are you being funny with me?
No, I'm being serious. The way okay, so the reason why I say that, so if you go to the Geiger Museum, hanging on the wall is that dog one, and it looks far more intimidating than the people-size one. The dog one I know it's cool. I just wanted to get that out there. That's the coolest.
You know what? You know what the coolest alien from those movies is? The one with the dreadlocks. You know, the one with he has these claws coming out. You know what I'm talking about? He kind of sounds like a cat. He sounds like a cat purring.
Hey, Gabe, have you seen Predator?
The what?
Damn,
the what?
He's like, what? Hey, have you seen Predator?
Is it that show where they catch those? Oh, that's How to Catch a Predator. That's a different. No, I absolutely have watched Predator. I was just messing around.
I know you probably like Predator too.
So to the viewers, for anyone who's interested, this is actually really hilarious with regard to Predator. If you go on YouTube and you just look up "handshake that ended racism," you will see the handshake between Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Carl Weathers.
And Carl Weathers in the very beginning. You remember where they first meet up, and and it's hilarious because if you look, that's how you search for that on YouTube. It's the handshake that ended racism.
That's funny.
I've watched every Arnold movie out there. I think
Commando.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is the most epic, cheesy one-liners ever condensed into one movie.
What? Commando.
Hey, listen. So you know that there's those liners, I'll be back, or we should have got a bigger boat. All those one-liners. Schwarzenegger's got a lot of those. He does.
And the majority of them were in Commando.
Yeah.
and the Running Man too.
I lied. Yeah.
So, by the way, the movie I asked Lee to watch is Falling Down. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, it's kind of morbid movie. It's kind of depressing.
Wait, is that the one with Michael
Douglas?
Michael Douglas. Yeah.
I didn't think it was depressing. I mean, it's a very interesting, character.
Yeah, that's the one here where he just walks out of his car, right? Like he's in traffic.
Right.
Just gets out.
I have seen that movie. Yes, I have. I'm sorry, Joseph. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
When they stop cooking breakfast and he's 1 minute late.
That's right.
He just loses his shit. Yeah, I have seen that movie. My apologies.
Here, this one. Wait. Oh, yeah, Douglas, right. Pete says raw deal. I don't know what kind of movie Pete's watching, but
raw deal. When he's a Soviet, he's a spy.
Yeah, I've seen Raw Deal. I think I've only ever seen that once, though.
Yeah.
Hey, he did like his first movie before Conan was. He was a cowboy. He looked like he was in an oversized Lone Ranger outfit, and that one's pretty hilarious. I bet Gabe doesn't even know that one exists.
I guess I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He would even tell you it's pretty bad.
That sounds like some Texas thing.
Yeah.
No, I legit when I was in law school, there's what that video was making its round where he made a speech at some university. Have you heard that the I think it's like Arnold's 5 rules, but it's like such an inspiring speech. Like it is just, I mean, coming from Arnold Schwarzenegger, like it is probably one of my top 3 favorite inspiring speeches. He just talks about like coming to the United States as an immigrant, and people would tell him that he couldn't do it. He didn't fit the right part. He couldn't be a superstar because he was too muscly. And he's like, you just can't listen to the naysayers. You just got to follow what you do, and you just got to keep working harder than anyone. It's really inspiring. You guys should check it out. Just go on YouTube.
I've seen it.
Arnold's 5 rules or something like that. 5 rules.
He does a lot of those, actually. He's done a lot of inspirational speech that you're talking about. He's done that quite a bit. If you look that up, like Gabe just said, you'll find a whole bunch of other ones of him talking motivation.
Pete saying Hercules in New York. The movie was The Villain. Is that it? Scott's.
Yes.
That's the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Pete.
Not Brokeback Mountain?
He's right.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I mean, that was definitely so. Blade Runner. Anything else that you guys could think of for Blade Runner?
I looked up to see how many people were still alive, and only 2 of them have passed.
Yeah.
Which kind of shocked me, actually, because there was that Asian guy that we said that James Hong that looked like Babu Freak.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive. That's the guy from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Hey, Gabe, have you seen that?
That's a great movie.
Have you seen it?
I think I've seen it. I don't remember it too well. It's one of those ones like one.
No. You think you've seen it? You would know.
You would know if he's. That is.
And then I have it.
That's a great.
Okay, full fucking ass.
Well, then I have it. I guess.
He's tired of letting everything go on.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously there's a lot of movies that I probably watched, growing up, and I just don't remember them.
Yeah.
Just depend. It depends. I was watching Spaceballs and Back to the Future 2. Yeah.
Hey, okay, listen. So, like you guys today, yes, on Paramount, it was Back to the Future was on. And all the little sayings that they would say about, like, okay, who's president? Ronald Reagan, the actor? Just all the, give me a Pepsi free. Hey, if you want a Pepsi, you're going to pay for it. Just all the little things that came up in Back to the Future, the original one. The original one. That's the good one.
But it all mirrored throughout the different times of You've got to give them props for
it's like
doing what they did. I thought
brilliant.
That was
awesome. Those films were brilliant, and it is the one thing I just pray to God that nobody
don't remake them.
Wants to try and remake those films.
Yeah, that would be blasphemy.
Speaking of
that is definitely a film they could not make better than it is.
No,
and even now it holds up.
All of them, the trilogy,
the whole trilogy.
So what about you guys? What are your thoughts of? I think this next week, or it might have started this week. I can't remember because everything going on in my world. But the new Indiana Jones 15. It's getting ready to start.
Oh yeah, he's filming, right? He's filming right now, right?
Yep.
It's called 15, or you being something?
No, it's just being funny, dude. Because there's like I don't even know how many of them. There's like 5. It's like part 5 or something. But
it's it would be the 5th one.
Yeah.
I only know.
I don't know anything about it.
It's kind of funny. If Harrison Ford's watching our show tonight, which he probably is. It's kind of funny that Harrison Ford.
No doubt.
I sent him a message on TikTok. to let
No,
him
he's
know.
a total. So it's like, you know what? When he, kill me off as Han Solo, but I'm gonna do, Indiana Jones till I'm 95. It's like, dude, you either, it's crazy because he's really particular, about
He
his
enjoyed
role.
that character the most, though, right?
Yeah, he does. Yes.
That's
yes.
Yeah. That's what he told me anyway.
Yeah. He lived a long, prosperous life with Princess Leia, and in my world, they had like 10 kids and fucking.
Oh, you mean they didn't separate?
No. And he didn't have a son.
And have an emo son that ran off.
Exactly. Dude. Lucasfilm needs to hire us. You know what I mean? When it comes to. No, but
is Spielberg directing it? Armando's asking. Do you guys know?
You know what? I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not sure.
No, Kathleen Kennedy's in charge of it, isn't she?
Oh no!
I mean, she was in charge of all the other ones, right? Wasn't she the executive producer?
She was an executive producer, but I don't think she was the brain power behind the entire franchise.
Yeah,
I think it's one thing. I mean, I think it's one thing to be involved in a project with Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
And it's a different thing to be running something on your own if you don't have, Spielberg's talent.
Well, we've seen that unfold over 3 movies, right?
Right.
But you know what? Listen, because everybody that watches our show, even George Lucas told me the other day, Force Awakens and all these movies, but Kathleen Kennedy has a really tough role, and from somebody who's directed several feature films or 2 feature films, there's so many different roles that you have to play in doing that. And you're not just into the acting or the story, or there's just so many things, so many aspects of what she has to carry on.
I'll have to disagree with you, Michael, because as someone who edits pictures on our interviews, I could tell you that it's. I'm just kidding. No. Go ahead.
Here's the thing.
And that's $250,000.
You do a great job.
Here's the thing. I agree with you, Michael, but I mean I have to give my opinion here, and that is that everyone has certain talents, right? And it's important to know where your strengths are and where they are not. Yeah. And I think it's important to admit that to yourself when you do something, right? So let's take George Lucas, for example. He's a prime example, right? We revere him for what he created, right? He's a story genius, essentially, right? And he's a genius at what he created, and he's a genius in the world that he built and the philosophy that he created for Star Wars. But Star Wars, the original Star Wars, wasn't Star Wars because of George Lucas. It was because his wife edited it in such a way that it was, because his original cut of that film was horrible, right?
Yeah, Marcia Lucas.
Yeah. And even the story crawl that he wrote for the beginning, had to be rewritten by, who was it that rewrote it for him? Was one of the other famous directors. I can't remember. Not Spielberg, but it was the guy who did. I'm blanking on the name.
Cameron?
I'm sorry.
Cameron?
No.
Lauren Peterson?
No. Anyway.
So so is this about Kathleen Kennedy? Is that
yes. Well, I'm getting there. All right.
So make a short story long.
Hurry up, my glasses almost.
Yeah. So no, but the point is that not everyone is right. And I say the same thing about. Oh, that's right. I think it was De Palma.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that not everyone who is brilliant at something is brilliant at everything, right? J.J. Abrams is a great filmmaker, but he's a shitty storyteller.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams, did you like Star Wars or Star Trek better?
Star Trek.
For sure, Star Trek.
You mean, okay.
Because J.J. Abrams directed the new one, right?
I didn't like either.
He did a great job of those reboots.
I liked the visual spectacle of those reboots, but I didn't really like much else of them.
Really?
They didn't feel like Star Trek to me.
I liked how it kind of showed how when they met each other, how Bones became Bones and all that.
Yes.
See, but I think that's a perfect example of like Star Wars, right?
Right.
Like Joseph is a diehard Star Trek fan as well. So I mean for us, and he appreciates certain aspects of it that make Star Trek what Star Trek is, and he doesn't like what J.J. Abrams did with, or at least not to the extent.
I mean, I enjoyed the films, but they just felt like summer blockbusters, and they just didn't feel like Star Trek.
Right. So then, like Lee, you're not a big Star Trek fan, right? But you enjoyed those films. Yeah. I think that's.
I don't have a flute.
Right. Well, no, but what I'm saying is that I think a lot of people enjoyed the sequels that didn't like Star Wars before. And in fact, I actually watched a video recently that they asked this just another content creator on TikTok. And they're like, how would you recommend to watch those movies? And she said, I actually would recommend anyone who's never watched them to watch the sequels first, just because they're more updated. They're more likely to catch someone's attention and watch all three. And then you can go back and kind of fill in the gaps. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a perfect example of that, right? That Lee thinks they're cool movies, but Joseph, as a Star Trek fan, are like, eh.
Right. Now, and so the point that I'm making, this is all about now Kathleen Kennedy, right? Yeah. She may have been good at what she was doing under Spielberg, right? Organizing, getting the logistics of a movie made. But now you tell Kathleen Kennedy, okay, you're in charge of all the creative on this and create a story, and you see the result of that, right? Because that's not what she's good at.
Yeah, but
okay, can I jump in real quick?
Brought in Favreau.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was going to say. But listen, Joseph, what you're saying is 1,000,000%. But I will tell you though that her she's done so many movies, but her connection ties are Spielberg and was with Lucas as well. Mm-hmm. But remember, she was given the role. Lucas went to Kathleen and said, Kathleen, I am wanting you to take over as president of this company, blah, blah, blah. And then bam, Disney. So she was good with Lucas and then had to go in and take over with Disney. And it's a whole different ballgame, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look,
imagine firing directors, Gabe.
Look at this. Look at it's ridiculous. Look at the list of movies that she's been an executive producer. Gremlins, Back to the Future, Goonies, An American Tail, Batteries Not Included, Frame Roger Rabbit. Every single movie from the 80s, 90s.
It's true, Gabe, but
Jurassic Park.
What role is she playing? Look, it's not hard to be an executive producer in something. I mean, if you do a few things, you can be listed as an executive producer. It doesn't mean that she was the creative force behind the movie.
Right.
She didn't write the script. She didn't, edit the film. She, there may have been, there's maybe a very limited role that she played in some of these things and then still gets her name on it. So I don't necessarily, I'm not trying to say.
As a producer, though, she did E.T., Jurassic Park.
Don't get too jealous here, but in 2019 she was appointed as an honorary commander of the Order of the British Empire. Look at that.
I'm still waiting for my invitation.
Yeah, we're gonna give her a collection awards award as well. So
Wars Award. You guys need to do one of those. That's hilarious.
All I'm saying is that if Kathleen Kennedy should have learned anything from all of those films there that you have listed, is that if you take a franchise like Star Wars that has a history like it does, a fan base like it does, a purchase price of $4 billion, right? You at least owe it to yourself, the company you work for, the franchise, all the fans to sit down and say, well, maybe we should have a plan for this.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should make all of these, movies fit together. Maybe we should have some rhyme or reason to the directors that we hire to make these films. I mean, those all seem like very simple.
I also think
things to do,
especially with her job. You got to think about it too. Like right before The Force Awakens, I'm sure as one of the producers, she was probably instrumental in getting all the original cast back together, right? And I'm sure, and I think they've even interviewed Harrison Ford about that. And I may be wrong, but I could have sworn they said something that he only did it because Kathleen asked him to do it.
And,
so,
and maybe that's the role that she should be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, someone look. I unfortunately I feel like we live in a world today where a lot of people feel like if you're good at one thing, then you should be good at other things.
Everything.
Yeah. And that's not the case, right? No. I know I'm a physician. I know what I'm good at. I know but I can't be an attorney, right? And I think that in filmmaking, and Michael, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, there are a lot of different aspects to filmmaking.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
There's convincing the actors to come back and be in your film, right? And then there's writing a good script and delineating a great story. And then there's cinematography and there's direction. And like I said, George Lucas was a genius in what he created. But watch the prequels and tell me that those were well executed films.
Yeah.
The story was brilliant. The story was absolutely brilliant. But the dialogue, the direction, I mean, it was not well executed. And that's what a lot of people why they have a problem with those films.
Yeah,
the story is brilliant.
Do you not think that the story is brilliant?
The story of the prequels, I mean, it's a Greek tragedy. It's a brilliant story.
Yeah, because it's Star Wars. They're copying Star Wars. Of course, it's the same exact story.
No,
anyway,
I said the prequels.
No, the prequels, not the sequels.
The story of Anakin. And
yeah. So you know that Kathleen, she probably had her hands tied a lot with what Bob Iger was willing to do, and I mean, I think there's too many people in the round table that that had to do that.
But that's the case.
I actually think
Mandalorian's so good.
Well, that's what I think. I think that's I think people are giving including myself right now, giving her too much credit, because I think what did happen is that she got the pieces and then she was just like, go for it, do what you want. And I think she put too much trust in J.J. Abrams and, the people that were actually in charge of the movie to hopefully do a good trilogy. And then I think J.J. Abrams from the beginning knew that he wasn't going to direct the next two, right? He didn't want to. So I think that's where it was. It was like this.
Here's a great example, right? Of where I don't understand exactly what kind of control someone like Kathleen Kennedy, would have or should have in this situation. But she brings on someone like Rian Johnson to make The Last Jedi, right? And they film the movie. They film a scene where Leia dies. Okay. And then before the film is released, she dies. The actress Carrie Fisher dies. So they go back to Rian Johnson and say, can you edit the film so that she dies in the film? Because really she dies and then they bring her back and then she plays no real role in the rest of the film. The rest of her role in the end of Last Jedi is inconsequential. She plays no meaningful role in the film.
But it's cool though. They put her in. They just know that fans like us.
So check this out. I don't know if you guys could see that, and then again, this is Wikipedia, so who knows? But look, Bob Iger said specifically that it would be released in 2017. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy said that the film had not been mapped out and that Abrams was collaborating with Johnson, who would in turn work on episode 9. So I think the goal was to like.
But what I'm saying is that Colin Trevorrow, who was supposed to make the final film, then went back and asked them to re-edit the film. So, because how are they going to film the third film and the actress is dead?
Right.
And he refused to do that. So exactly where does the director get off doing that against the wishes of Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger and everybody else in a franchise like Star Wars? I'm just not quite sure how that happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm outside of my realm of knowledge on this because I've never made or produced a film, but it just seems to me like, when you're talking about billions of dollars at stake, there should be, smarter heads in the room that figure this stuff out, because obviously we see how it played out. I mean, I know there are a lot of forces at play here, but it just seems like this is something that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would have looked like if Filoni and Favreau had done 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, Michael. I could be wrong. Maybe you really love the sequel trilogy, and I'm stepping all over this.
No, I don't. You know what it is? I don't know what.
I mean, it's no Temple of Doom, but I mean, Doom.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? There's something about Kathleen Kennedy. I just respect her so much, But like Ryan Johnson, dude, don't get me going, dude. Like, what is that word that Lee says? Is a total fool. But I just, there's something about her, man. I like her,
Yeah.
No, I
don't know what to say. I don't know.
No, I understand.
Mike's got his Z Cavaricci's.
Here we go.
So, anyway, okay,
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a Blade Runner show, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right. Well, guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. Do you guys have any other insight?
How's the 5-footer coming, Michael?
The 5-footer? Are you being funny with me, or are you being serious?
The 8-footer.
I'm being serious.
It's an 8-footer. Wait, is that the Regal Robot one?
Oh, it's 8-footer. It's not 5. It's 8.
Are you talking about a Star Destroyer? It's 8 foot.
Is that the? Is that?
I'm talking about the. I'm talking about the 5-footer then.
Yeah, Big Cat Pete's always saying stuff about the 5-footer because that's actually, I think we got something moving forward on that. The 8.5-footers coming around awesome. Mike has been working on fiber optics all day today, and he did some primer stuff of the bridge, and damn, dude.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah, can I send them to you, Gabe?
Yeah, and and Jason Eaton just posted some more pictures about your
okay.
I just saw them on Facebook.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
Gabe, in answer to your question, yeah, that is the reason.
Yeah, can you show it again? I want it. Mine comes. I ordered one. I was kind of a little late on it, but
I just got this
on
today.
Tuesday.
Are you gonna put that on your R2, Gabe?
Yeah, because it's lighter. So I have an actual aluminum one. Let me see if I can find it. I have an aluminum one, and then I have the Disneyland one. And
Joseph, you're like a Price is Right girl right there.
Thanks, dude. And I have something else to show you at the end of the show too.
So check this out. So I have an aluminum one that's kind of the R2 Builders club. They do it, and then that's the one from Disneyland. So I obviously ordered the one from Regal Robot just because it's going to be probably as light as the Disneyland one. Mm-hmm. This one's way too heavy, so any little touch, it kind of comes off. The magnet's not that strong.
I need one for my.
This one's the Galaxy's Edge one. But the thing is, the Galaxy's Edge one's not accurate because of the little writing.
The writing on there, but I like that writing though.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if you got those pictures, Gabe. I sent them.
Got them. Let me see. Oof, that's
Michael. You're in that stance. You look like you're meditating, like Buddha.
I know, right? Hey, just so you guys know, I know everybody that's yeah. So
Wow. Holy shit.
Look at that.
That's beautiful.
How many feet of fiber optic is in this?
I'm not real sure I can tell you at the end of the deal, but so hey,
It could
Joseph,
be miles, I guess. It won't be feet, right?
Gabe, go back to the other picture real quick. So
Yeah.
That one or that one?
No, yeah, that one. So if you see those little the when he comes in and he takes a blade and he runs all those X lines.
Yeah, the scribing.
And that's what it's done on the Death Star as well.
Yes. As a matter of fact.
Bless you, Gabe. So that's really that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of work.
I know.
So what are the scribe lines for?
They're just to create the pattern, to create the relief on the surface. It just adds dimension and detail to the panels because ship's made up of panels, right?
Right.
So when it's painted, Lee, it'll pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Gabe, I'm going to send you a couple of pictures right now. Okay. Just along the same lines.
The picture of him. Yeah. So listen. So the engine bells right there. Jason, Mike told me today that they end up going 2 inches bigger in diameter to make sure the scale is right. So Mike had received one of those and was molding the other two, but thought that they were just a little too small. So I mean, the attention to detail and to make sure that when this thing is done, that it's 98% accurate is just absolutely.
Michael, I'd be so worried
amazing.
Transporting this down with a private company. You need to transport this yourself.
Yep.
I'm flying in there.
I'm flying over there to meet you.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, so he'll have the base star done, the Battlestar Galactica base star. So look at the shields that go on top of that piece right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Jason put a lot of time in that, and I really thank him so much for helping out on the build with Mike.
Yeah. Jason's just a brilliant artist.
Yeah, to know that he had his hand in on this thing. And there's a reason, listen, guys, there's a reason that he's doing it, not just because he's a humble, good friend of Mike's, but, because he respects the build, and what this is going to be about, and, from Mark to all the way to Salzo, it's amazing. It's just coming along really quick. It's shocking.
How are you going to mount this, Michael?
It's got a really nice display stand that Mark built for it.
Oh, okay.
So along those lines,
it sits on a rolling tripod.
Okay.
So that's the Slave One that I'm having done right now, and the model builder who's working on it is rescribing all of the panel lines along the hull. And same effect, Lee. It's basically to kind of outline and make that relief pop a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So when the paint sits in it, it's just a small indentation of the
right.
Okay. I know nothing about student whatsoever.
Well, next time you go on an airplane, look out the window and look at the wing. And remember you'll see all the lines, right? All the lines and the rivets.
Right.
And that's basically, all vehicles have that to a certain degree. And when you look at the wing, you'll notice that all those lines, they're all almost black, right? From all the soot and grime and stuff that goes in there.
Right.
And so by adding those details to a ship like the Slave One or like the Star Destroyer, you're creating that realism, right? And you're creating a sense of scale.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah. It's really cool to do that.
What are you eating, Lee? What are you eating?
What am I eating?
Yeah.
I am eating California medley.
Oh, nice. Did Gabe send it to you?
That's right.
It's not
He sent me the Tijuana medley.
Oh,
dude, Tijuana. You could see Tijuana if you look out my house, you could actually see it. The hill. That's how.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that close.
Yeah. We're a couple exits from the border.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, Michael.
Yeah.
When are you expecting to be done? The fall?
September, the month of September, hopefully. Yeah. When I was talking to Mike, what he said, time frame after, of course, the Star Destroyer is done. I know why you're asking me, Joseph. You're like,
no. I'm just no, because I'm planning to fly there and meet you and drive back to Texas with you.
Oh, are you serious? I didn't know you were serious about that. You're welcome. Yeah. So he finishes. So when since I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to be bringing back the base star from Battlestar Galactica. We saw the Michael Planey collection. It's like 3.5 feet, and it's pretty tall. So.
You're bringing both of them back together.
Yeah.
What are you going to rent?
I'm going to rent one of those Avis vans, so I can have it in there and have them both. That way, if there's any weather or anything, there's no problems.
Okay. Getting an Optimus Prime semi truck.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm going to be down there in the end of October, so it'll be there when they come down.
Yeah, I can't wait till you come over.
And, I'll be in College Station, and I've already told my chief I'm going to drive down there. So,
yeah, hopefully when you come down, we'll be in a drought. So just so the viewers know, I told Gabe we're going to try to keep this show positive, but I want to thank every one of you guys right now that y'all all reached out to me. Thank you so much. But last night I was, canoeing down my freaking hallway with 5 inches of water. And it was, I haven't been to bed since yesterday. I didn't even sleep at all last night. So I've been up, and damn, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. But it's all dried out now. We ripped out all the carpet, and man, it's just like my poor wife's Barbie room that we just finished. We got the floors done, and she started moving in all her stuff, and it was 4 inches underwater. It was terrible. So we've had the blowers blowing all day and all last night, and things look pretty good in her room. And but yeah, we've just had this crazy monsoon of rain the last 5-6 weeks. It's unbelievable. I know I've been telling Gabe, hey, we just got flooded. But last night was holy shit. I was sending him pictures, and I had stuff actually like going down the hallway, just floating down the hallway in my car. It was awful. Yeah.
Michael, I've never asked you, but your gallery, the Star Wars gallery, it's up a level, right?
It's 100%. It's everybody that knows. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry that happened. How's your gallery?
Well, no, I know that, but I was curious, when you built the gallery, did you do that on purpose? Did you have that in mind?
Yeah, I did, because we had been flooded before, and when if you're out here on the acreage on the ranch, you never know that this is in a flood area, because it's really not. It's really flat land. It's on top of the hill. But, there's just certain things that I've learned that I have to do. And I just haven't had a break of dry weather where I can go in and actually start building on these huge berms and whatnot. But yes, I built the initial slab of the gallery where I don't care. It can rain freaking, it'll never flood. Tornado, I mean, it's the only thing we haven't had yet, but other than that, we're pretty golden. So.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for asking that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you guys can't catch a break over there, man. It's first it was snow, then the power thing.
Yeah.
And all the water pipes everywhere in Texas. Like, it was just crazy, man.
Well, you guys are so dry. It's so
the
dry.
hail. Remember you were telling me about the hail, that it was just coming down fucking baseball size, like golf size balls. Like crazy.
Yeah. Time to move to California, Michael.
I'm going
to. He hasn't experienced earthquakes yet. So
listen. So all kidding aside, last night me and my wife we were both just crying. We were in tears. It was hard.
Yeah,
and we were looking at each other, and I just said, "Babe, we're selling. I'm done." And she says, "Yes, we're selling." And about 20 minutes later, I'm just sitting on the chair and water's just coming through us. I swear to God, it was awful. And Denise is she has this broom and she's just sweeping the water out the front doors. And it's like, babe, you're wasting your time. Water's it's raining, you know.
Back in the other side.
And but she just started really bawling then, and she says, "This is our house," you know. And I was like, "I know, hon," you know. So anyway, she's like, "I don't want to sell our home. I want to, you know, and I'm just going to make it right, you know. I just got to, you know, get to that point where we can do it, you know what I mean?" So it's weird. These rains that we've had, they're like literally they're what's called 100-year floods. It's just ironic that they're happening quite a bit, you know.
Yeah.
So the one thing on the Democrat side, I'm not going to get going, Gabe, don't worry. But when they talk about what's going on in our environment and shit, hallelujah, freaking hallelujah, man. There's got to be something going on. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, just remember, you know, Democrat or Republican, wherever your political views may lie, the U.S. military considers climate change to be one of their biggest threats to overcome.
Yeah.
And they're not political.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad you said that. Thank you for saying that, Joseph.
Yeah. So they recognize it as a real problem. So
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't think it's just, you know, we're just here living, you know, this is nature's world, you know, this is God's world. This isn't we're just lucky and fortunate to be here right now, and just, you know, we're blessed to be living where we're living, unfortunately with the flooding and all that. But when it comes to all the other crap going on in the world, I'll take the flooding all day long. But
Michael, so where is the water coming from? So if it's not a river that's breaking its banks, where is it coming from then? Is it just the ground?
It's torrential rain, Lee.
So the ground is soft and it can't absorb anymore.
That's exactly right. It's saturated. So when it rains, it's just, I mean, when we looked at the menu, I was like, babe, I lit the fire because we had it just showed a little thing on the radar, but that little thing stayed over us for 3 straight hours of nonstop freaking. Poor Gabe, man. I was blowing his phone up, sending him pictures.
No, man.
He had no words. It's like, poor guy. He's like, man, I don't even know what to say to this guy because it was so awful. Gabe, let's just,
I mean, I have them. You want me to show them? I have them.
Yeah.
Michael, so if you build a berm around your property, doesn't that create a swimming pool inside the berm, though?
No. It just goes
because if it's downpouring that much, I mean, you're looking at this side, but you're also retaining it on the other side, though, right?
No, it goes around the way it is on our house. It kind of flows around it and goes, because there's a gentle slope. If you're here, you can't tell, but when it's raining, it's going, you know, south of our house.
So have you got to get like an engineer to design the water management system around the property for this kind of?
We're on 22 acres. It's just what I got to do around the house.
Right,
I know what I have to do, Lee, and I just haven't had a dry spell to where we can do it. So
look at this is poor Michael's house right here.
Jeez. Oh, Jesus.
This is at 1:00 last night.
Oh my God. So Michael, do you have to, when you pull all this up, is black mold an issue for you down there?
Hopefully not. You know, we've had, you know, we pulled out the carpet this morning, and you know, that's Haley's room.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, there's rapids. You could actually see the little rapids going through there.
So you got to pull up the trim and what, 1 foot of drywall?
So listen, so there's what you're saying about the 1 foot of drywall. So, you know, we got all the carpet up and we've got all these fans blowing. Right. They've got these mold meters. So what we're going to do is we're going to have for several days, we're going to have it hitting. And if everything looks good, I'm just going to hopefully leave the trim alone and not because you know, I don't know. We're just going to see what happens. But Denise's gallery has a 7-inch step up from the normal plane of the home.
And it's still had water in there.
Hers was underwater. Hers I didn't even worry about. And poor Denise, I didn't even go into her gallery. And her and Haley were like, the floors were bowing up. And I'm like, you're kidding me, the floors, you know? So I went over to my theater room over where the gallery is, and I threw in Close Encounters, and Denise kept sweeping out, you know, she was just in shock. And I just couldn't handle it. So I went to Close Encounters, fell asleep, woke up at the very end, came over here.
So I got,
that was
you want me to show you?
morning, and I just been, yeah.
Do you want me to show that, Michael? The gallery?
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
So because you're still in the process of building that whole other section in your property.
Right. Yeah, we're almost there. I mean, this is nice. We just got this set up today. Yeah, this is going into the new addition right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only dry little spot in the whole 4,000 square feet.
There's not any roof leaks.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
That's for insurance, by the way. So the reason I'm saying that. But here's Denise's gallery with a brand new wood floors. It's got 2 inches of water.
It's still funny.
Wait, did any of her stuff get wet on the floor right there, Michael?
Oh yeah, we had to run all that stuff back there. Yeah, I got it all up. There was several vintage boxes that were ruined, but she planned on opening up the boxes anyways and putting them in there. But yeah, can you guys believe all that? It's just crazy.
Well, that's when Michael told me that, I was just like, no way, man. That's like, I'm telling you, for the last few months, like the first time Michael was like, man, it's snowing like crazy. I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden that's when that whole snowstorm.
Yeah, we were without water for 7 years.
I remember the electricity and the water and all that. And then you sent me a message about the hail, and you're like, I don't know what to do with my cars. They're all getting hit with these like gigantic hail. And I was like, oh man, that sucks, man. That's so bad. And then when you told me about this, I was just like, what in the world? Like, poor Michael can't catch a break this year, pretty much, right?
Yeah, but you know what, dude? You look at it all. I mean, last night I was ready to quit, right? But we got our health. We're good. We got our little family. And little Haley, she's so, it's hard. She just tries so hard to keep us together and keep us, and she does, keeps us strong, and
yeah.
We sent her to some friends all day. She was at a friend's house, and I went and picked her up 50 minutes before the show game. And the first thing when she got in the car, she's like, is the house still have water in it? And I was like, no, it's all out, so there's signs obviously of water damage, but I mean, it's completely dry through here. And then these huge freaking storms today, 100% chance of rain. And luckily they went around us, dude, because I can't even run my waterfall and listen to the sound of waterfall. I built this, I don't know if you guys, since I've got you guys right here, I've got this little, see that right there? It's really cool. We're going to have plants around it, but Gabe's seen it. And Joseph, I've showed Joseph.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't even like the sound of the water because of the flooding, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, but thanks and for all you guys, the words and your caring, and means a lot. And look, Gabe knows, I mean, we were just got our power back on, and it was our first episode of Collection Wars.
Yeah.
And then last night I knew there's no way I was going to be on the show tonight. And look, here we are,
Yeah.
Well,
didn't want to miss it. This is what I love, being with you guys and our viewers, Gabe,
Yeah.
Well, our hearts go out to you. When you sent me those videos, it was just devastating. I couldn't, and when you sent me the message, you were like, all due respect, brother, your leak that you had is a cakewalk. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I watched the video and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It sucks.
Well, look, I think it's one of those, and thank you for sharing, Michael. I mean, I think I know it's one of those things where, nobody, wants to put their stuff out there like that. But I think it shows your character and showing that, hey, look, it is what it is, and you're gonna get through it, and I would really appreciate you.
Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you, all you guys. And it's kind of funny because my Salzer that's doing my Star Destroyer. He's so nice. I mean, he knew under the circumstances, what do you say to something like that took place today? And he continued to send me pictures all day today. You know what I mean? So, and it was cool because it's uplifting. I'm sitting here, with a razor blade cutting half of the carpet out of my bedroom, trying to move furniture, and I get these little things in the Star Destroyer, and that's sort of like badass. You know what I mean? Gets you through all that stuff. That's what all this stuff does. No matter what your situation is, this is what our happiness is, right, guys?
Yeah, and I think that you hit it right there, and I think that's a great kind of ending to the show, right? Because that is why we do this, and this is why we want to do this, because it is what we love and what we look forward to every Saturday, to kind of hang out with you guys and talk Star Wars, because obviously Monday through Friday, we got the normal stuff going on. We all have a bunch of stuff, and this is the one time that we get to just talk about what we love, hang out with great friends, and this is what it's about, man.
That's right.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better, man. Yeah, everybody, all the viewers that always, Lee and Joseph mentioned earlier, we've through what we've done, we've met so many great, friends, and me and Gabe have had a lot of long hours on the phone of, reflecting about what Collection Wars is really about, and what, just being able to, it's our happiness, and it's a way we can't let that, anything get in the way of what our show is truly about, So.
And it's memorializing, again, going back to that where we talked about it early on in the shows, right? It really is. That's what we're doing. We're memorializing a lot of these things that are happening, and we're being open with people that are watching us. And I think that's a big part of Collection Wars, that we talk about family, we talk about the stuff that's happening in our lives and stuff, and because we want to share it with you guys, because no matter what, as a Star Wars community, we're a little family, you know what I mean? And there's the cousins and and sometimes you don't get along with certain family, but no matter what, Star Wars is that thread that connects us all, right? And it's always going to bring us back. And
although
I'm so happy to have
Gabe, I have to interject though. Lee, I met through this show because he contacted me. He reached out because he really wanted to know all about the flute from Star Trek.
I was going to say, that's exactly what it was.
I mean,
tell me more about this flute and where can I get one?
The whole story. He wanted to know the whole thing.
You're like, where can I get the record so I could play it during my tea time?
Gabe,
yes.
We got to end the show with the flute, bro.
I don't even think
we're trying to give you a little bit of a break.
I know, right? It's one of those things where, let me see. Hold on. Let's give the flute of shame to the rain.
And all the guys right now that are the viewers that just said what you just said in regards to the crap that I've gone through with my family. Thank you so much. I've just read every one of those, and it means quite a bit. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I think I tossed it.
Did you delete that?
I think I deleted
Hey, listen.
Of shame.
Joseph.
Maybe you can just play it for us.
Look, Joseph's like,
I don't have it. I put it away. But
it's okay. You know why? Because
But Gabe, I'm gonna have to contact now. I got to contact John Williams and tell him that you tossed one of his greatest compositions.
It's all right because I got it right here. Hold on. Let me put on the flute of shame here.
If I had a hat on, I would take my hat off right now. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Joseph. My bad.
There's a commercial here, but let me.
Is this the rap version or what?
I don't know, but I don't know what's going on here.
All right.
Let me see. Hold on.
They're selling something. Selling insurance.
I don't know what they're selling. I don't know what demographic they think is watching this, but apparently they're. Do you have that, Joseph?
I have no idea.
Oh.
There it is.
The anticipation is killing me.
Sorry.
Joseph, you need to grow your hair out on the sides just like that.
Oh boy.
Holy shit, man.
You gotta get a t-shirt with flute guy on it or something.
Oh jeez.
Oh man,
Well, we needed to make Michael laugh a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's great. Damn.
Oh.
You guys.
I had to turn it up for the ending.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful, Jean-Luc. Beautiful.
Captain Luc Picard. What is his full name?
Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc Picard. Great job.
Oh. Well, that auction is at the end of the month, guys. I hope you have your GoFundMe.
Yeah. We're gonna
ready for that.
You guys heard that, right? That flute is up for auction on the prop store auction next month. So
what is it starting at?
Oh, I don't know, but
I'm sure it'll start like at 1,000 or 2,000 or something like that.
But I'm sure it'll go up to 20 or 30.
Oh, really?
Well, it's an iconic piece of. I mean, they're not a lot of iconic pieces of.
I don't know. I don't know if iconic is the word, Joseph.
Well, for Star
man.
Trek, it's iconic. I mean,
memorable.
The problem is that there are lots of. Look, there are lots of stormtrooper blasters, right? But there's only one Luke Skywalker lightsaber, and that's kind of how it. There are lots of phasers.
Wait, are you
to a lightsaber?
You just compared Luke's lightsaber to the flute.
What I'm trying to say is there are lots of props from Star Trek. There are phasers and communicators and all kinds of stuff. But this is a unique piece, and it's unique to the captain. That's why.
I would say maybe it's like, remember that cow that Luke drinks that green milk out of? Maybe that prop.
They can be only one flute.
There could be exactly the flute, one flute to rule them all.
Hold on.
In the darkness, bind them.
I think.
There you go.
You hear that? That's my wife calling me.
There it is. If that's your that needs to be your doorbell.
Yeah, I know.
The flute.
No, that wasn't the flute. That was the communicator from from the original series. The desk communicator.
Well, all right, guys.
Well, okay. Well, it's great seeing you guys again. It's great being on the show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we like having you guys on. We love all the viewers that always tune in every Saturday night. Thank you guys so very much. And look forward to our next episode, like always.
And the next time we're on together, Joseph, we'll not wear the same T-shirts next time.
Or will you?
Or will we?
I don't know. I think that's your thing now. I think that's gonna be your thing. Yeah.
I'm still not buying a flute.
And before we sign off, always to our viewers, thanks again so much for watching.
Yes,
Collecting yours. And a big thank you to William Sanderson for taking the time to talk to us on the show. It means a lot. Thank you, William.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
guys.
For sure.
All right, guys. Until next time. See you guys.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.